Hey, what's going on, my friends, and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Victor, and today I'm going to share with you 5 things I think you should know about the full moon we have here on February 27th, 2021. Number 1 is just one word, and it's a question. Moving? Are you considering moving? Is life telling you that you no longer are resonating with something in your environment, maybe being your entire environment? This reminds me back in 2016, my family and I were coming home from a camping trip. And for about a couple years prior to that period, we had been wanting to move out west to California. We were feeling it's time. We took a trip out there and it really resonated. But, you know, our mind said, well, we need to wait for this, and that to happen. It's not time, yada, yada. Anyway, we started getting these weird synchronicities that were, in a sense, reflections of what we knew to be a vibrational dissonance between the people we had become, my family and I, and our reflection, our life, our house, our careers. Anyway, one time we got back from this camping trip, and there was a huge, puddle of water dripping from the ceiling. On the way into our neighborhood, before discovering that, and we lived in a pretty safe neighborhood, but there were armed police officers with machine guns storming through our neighborhood. It was a cloudy day. About a week prior, my daughter's school closed down abruptly. We really started to feel like we were getting pushed out of a situation. We wanted to be pushed out. We wanted to move on, but we didn't think we were ready. We were afraid. We thought things had to get done prior to that. But life was saying, no, it's time now. And we're going to continue to show you these reflections of the dissonance you're well aware of until you finally heed the call and do what you want to do anyways. So for some of you, this might really involve moving. Some of you, it might be a career. But right now, what's happening is there's this disbursement of vibrations. As all of you know, there's quite a mixed bag of vibrational frequencies here on the planet. There's very, very high vibe situations and people and sages and masters, and there's, con artists, and there's murderers, and there's the whole other end of the spectrum, right? And for a long time, we kind of coexisted because all of our vibrations were not that far off. But people like you who are doing the work are raising your frequency quickly. And there are other people that are, in a sense, kind of devolving. And we're seeing people naturally gravitate towards a vibration that feels good for them. So you might be noticing that where you live is attracting lower frequency energies. You might find yourself attracted to higher frequency energies. And if that's the case, what I can tell you from experience is that even though it might feel like not the right time or this and that, and of course, you have to go with your own instincts here, but I can tell you this: when you allow yourself to flow with life and put yourself into a situation you want to be in anyway, being in a situation that's a vibrational match it's a fundamental shift. It's a true game changer. Your consciousness will consistently be at an elevated state where those awesome downloads and ideas can come to you, where those opportunities can easily float in, etc. And your life can change and transform and upgrade extremely quickly when you allow yourself to flow with where life is trying to take you and where you want to go anyways. Number 2 is surrendering to the flow. I mentioned before, I felt guided to move out to San Diego. I felt pushed out by life, okay, I want to go, but it's not the right time. I don't yet feel comfortable. But there was enough feedback from my environment that I said, okay, I can't stay here much longer. And we went off. We went off on blind faith. I had no money coming in, very little money coming in. But I knew in my heart, I could feel it was time. And I'll tell you what happened. So after, we had no money coming in, by the way, which is a huge barrier, but we sold our house and got a little bit of money. We didn't know, but we actually were able to sell it for more than we bought it. So we got a little bit of money, and that allowed us to buy a little teeny 21-foot RV that became our home for a little while there. And we moved out to San Diego, not much money left. We spent it on the RV. And then after that, I was able to use the money I got from selling a bunch of our belongings in the house because we decluttered our entire house and moved in to an RV. And once that ran out, I thought, oh my goodness, I felt so stressed because I had burned my bridges. I had no job anymore. We left our house. We were stuck in this little RV with a family. I had 3 kids and no money was coming in. And I was like, oh my God, what's going to happen? And right at that point, I had just an idea that welled up from within that resonated. And when I started to think about this idea, I got positive confirmations. And then what I did is I launched my coaching business. And within a week, I had a full list of clients. I had a good monthly income, and we were good. My point is, the mind can't see all these things up ahead. And the mind wishes it could, and it can oftentimes prevent forward action in a direction we know is ideal for us because the mind says, no, what about this? What about that? And I'm telling you, and it's not easy, but when you can do your best to let go and say, okay, I don't feel comfortable with this, but experience has shown me that it is okay and wise and safe to trust the flow. And when you can go with the flow, life will provide you. When you're in alignment with your life path, all the things you want and need, they do come to you. The opportunities, the ideas, the downloads, the money, whatever it is. So you can, now's the time to trust the flow because the flow is getting strong, as I said. You might feel like you're being like strongly guided to do this or let go of that or make this move or end this thing or whatever it is. Now is the time to trust because you'll feel the right move vibrationally before you know why it's the right move. And I've learned you can make a lot of positive changes in your life when you don't have to wait for the mind to get on board, which, as you know, can take quite a while. Number 3, I got it. Yes, I lost it. I got it, I lost it. It's a concept I read about a long time ago from a book written by a spiritual master named Oddo. I got it, I lost it refers to what a lot of you might be going through. A lot of you probably already have sensed there's been a massive internal shift within yourself that has already happened. A vacancy, an absence of old core wound influences. You might feel, in a sense, like a little bit different, a little more free, a little more less reactive, more free to be yourself, more free to be the person you want to be and have always wanted to be. And there might be days where you feel like man, I'm a changed person. And the way you know you change is not when everything around you becomes, roses and honey and butterflies. It's when old things, old cycles come back into your life and you don't react unconsciously. Rather, you respond from a state of presence. And you might find yourself responding differently to old triggers without having to try, in a more natural way, where after it's like, wow, I can't believe I did that. I used to respond a certain way, and I just responded this much more preferable way, and it took no effort at all. It felt very effortless. It feels more like me. You might feel at times way more rooted in your truth, in the fullness of your being. And then other days, you might feel like, where did it go? Oh my goodness. Now I feel like the old ego has taken you back over. This thing happened to me for the first time so long ago. It was so interesting to me. I used to be a heroin addict, as I mentioned, like 15, 17 years ago, a long time ago. I was a hardcore drug addict, if you can believe that or not. And every time the same thing would happen when I would go to rehab. I'd get through all the withdrawal symptoms and I would feel like a different person. I would feel almost like an embodiment of my higher self. I was witty, I was confident. I would give these speeches in front of like the whole 100-person rehab and I'd feel like so awesome. And then like that, I thought it was a pink cloud. That pink cloud would wear off. And then all the issues I've been suppressing and neglecting, it would just come up, take me over, where that like pure version of myself was just a distant memory and I couldn't tap into it. I had it and I lost it. This happens a lot as you go through a spiritual awakening and make these profound inner, subtle but profound shifts within your vibration. There will be days where you embody it and you recognize it and it feels amazing and liberating. And other days where it's another echo of the past playing out one last time. There's also the fact that when you have these big days where you have it, You might have a couple of days where you're just simply integrating, and it's not time to like be so explosive in a way, be so radiant with your energy. Your body and your system is getting used to it. So you might find yourself oscillating. I got it, I lost it. I got it, I lost it. When you lose it, you didn't lose it. You're just integrating, or you're allowing yet another layer of the old ego structure dissipate out of your system. And either way, you're on track. You're doing phenomenal. Number 4, no more Mr. Nice Guy or gal. A lot of us, if we're honest, are people pleasers. A lot of us don't like feeling the tensions of other people's energies. And a lot of us have conformed and sort of like allowed ourselves to live sometimes somewhat inauthentically. And an example of this would be saying yes to something you really want to say no to. And a lot of us have been doing this for a very long time. And a lot of us finally, thank goodness for us, are waking up out of it. A lot of us are realizing it's okay. It's natural. It's perfect to be our authentic self. And you might find that you're able to set these boundaries and say no and stand up for yourself and speak your truth more easily than before. You might just find there's more of an awareness of, oh, that's your stuff. And you might just feel more rooted, generally speaking, in yourself, more rooted in like almost like your lower chakras, more rooted in your true human self, fully aware of your worth and value and the fact that you have the right to say no, you have the right to decline, you have the right to whatever it is you want to do. It'll be more like you can finally make these choices of how you want to be from a sort of a commonsensical, intellectual standpoint. Like, oh yeah, this seems right. This seems okay. Versus so influenced by the need to please, the need for validation from the outside. And boy, what a game changer that is. If this relates to you, then you can look forward to a lot of things changing in your life. In fact, your whole life might start to unravel, because a lot of us have literally built our lives around this nice guy or nice gal sort of mentality. Because somewhere along the way we concluded and we picked up this false definition that we're not enough, we're not worthy. And if we're not worthy, then we don't stand up for ourselves, we don't speak our truth, we don't feel worthy of abundance, we don't feel worthy of love, and we've sort of just gone through life like a leaf in the wind, getting blown around by other people's stuff. Well, finally it's time to say, you know what? I'm no longer going to be a leaf. I'm going to be the tree that leaf is connected to, firm, rooted in who I am and what I want. And man, it's a very, very free feeling. But again, you might have periods where you're like that and periods where it goes away. I'll give you an example. My friend Aaron Dowdy has been doing a lot of work in this particular area of his life, and it's evident he really is like a changed person on a very core, stable level. His energy is different. He's just much more confident, much more rooted in himself. But even him had a little relapse the other day. He went to the store to buy bear mace. Now, the reason being is we live in Sedona, and Aaron loves to go on these evening walks, and he was doing so the other day, and it was pitch black, which it tends to get here in Sedona, and he saw these big glowing eyes glaring at him, and it freaked him out. And sure enough, it was a pig. It was not a pig, but it was a javelina, which is actually a very large pig. They're upwards of 100 pounds, and they have been known to attack people. So anyway, Aaron loves his walks. He said, you know what? I'm going to go to the store. I'm going to buy some bear mace, just in case. And the woman there gave him all this stuff, gave him all this crap about it, basically saying, well, why are you going to do this? You're going to, basically implying he's like this evil guy that's going around spraying innocent animals. But anyway, the old nice guy, Aaron, came up because the lady caught him off guard. He went to defend himself and say, oh, no, that's not why I'm getting this bear mace. Ma'am, I'm going to do it for this, and this, just for protection, just in case. And Aaron left that store thinking, ugh, I did it. I relapsed. But it's okay, because Aaron learned from that. It was a reminder that, that nice guy is still there within you a little bit. And as long as you stay grounded and rooted and present, you don't have to allow it to flare up. But if it does, it's perfectly fine. So I would really invite you guys, my friends, to not not resist the fluctuations and understand it's like there's a knob on the wall, and the knob controls your frequency. And these full moons come, the cosmic forces influence us, and it's like this knob just gets, not like a quarter turn, but where that thing's spinning. And we get these glimpses of, oh, this is who I am. I'm confident. I'm not a people pleaser. Oh my God. And then it's like, it's still awesome, but we're not used to it quite yet. So we have these fluctuations, and it's okay. It's a time to be really patient with yourself and allow yourself to shift, and just know you're doing fantastic. Number 5, and very importantly, what you want and maybe have always wanted is literally right there in front of you for the taking. It reminds me of this tarot card I oftentimes reference because it's such a meaningful card. It's from the Osho Zen Tarot deck, and it depicts this little kid standing at like a gate, almost like what looks like a jail cell, but it's a gate. He's got his hands, he's clutching the gate, looking out beyond the gate, thinking, oh my goodness, how wonderful would it be to be over there. And over there on the card is like sunshine. It looks very inviting. And this little kid, he feels like he can't make it over there, but if you step back and see the whole card, the gate has a lock on it, but the lock is unlatched. All the kid would have to do is simply, even a little kid could do it. Pick it up, drop it, swing that gate open, and say hello to whatever it is he or you want. What I mean by that, for a lot of us, it really can feel like we're blocked. Just like that little kid, because of our vantage point is clouded by our fears. Sometimes silly and illogical, but fear is a very powerful motivator. It makes it very difficult to go forward when we feel afraid. Even if we want it, even if we know logically it's going to be fine. Me and my friend Aaron were having a conversation out on his deck the other day where we are both sort of expressing to each other what we are in our life and what we want and what's blocking us. And we were both doing this. And it's so funny because when he was doing it, for me, it's like, I'm almost sitting there impatiently scratching my head thinking like, dude, just there's no problem here. Just do it. Just go for it. It's so easy. There's nothing stopping you. Just do it. And for him, I'll give an example of how this can work. He wants to bulk up. He wants to gain some muscle mass, right? Well, the reason he's not is because several months ago, he kind of let himself go and gained about 20 or so pounds of kind of like a sloppier weight. And he just kind of woke up one day and realized, oh my goodness, I'm 20 pounds overweight. And he had to go through this whole 3-month cut, a 3-month diet basically, which he did very flawlessly. Now he's all ripped, but he's a lot lighter than he wants to be, and he wants to gain muscle. But I'm watching him, and I'm a personal trainer, by the way, so I can see it in a different light. He's struggling to gain muscle because he won't let himself eat. He won't let himself eat enough food to gain the muscle mass. And I'm thinking like, Aaron, eat food, man. He loves to eat, by the way. It's a win-win. You'll bulk up, you'll get the goals. But he has this fear that if he lets himself go even a little bit and eat even a little more, he's going to wake up 20 pounds heavier. That's a fear that's stuck with him, okay? Now me, I have a very different thing where a lot of what stops me from making more YouTube videos and putting more of my energy out there is this guilt that I'm not a good father. Now, everyone who knows me knows I spend more time with my children than almost anybody they know. And I'm super attentive. I do my best. When I go into an ayahuasca ceremony, most of the time it's, how can I be a better father? I put so much emphasis on being a good father that the guilt for not being a good father has no place. It makes no sense. And a lot of my issues come from that guilt. And Aaron's over there scratching his head thinking, Victor, he's just wanting to smack me. I have these goals, the guilt stopping me. Aaron has these goals, the fear stopping him. But we can see it easily in each other. And if you try right now, whether you have a friend like that or not, the full moon can help you see it within yourself. You can see that what's holding you back is nothing. It's a cloud of gray smoke that all you got to do is walk through. And as you take that step, the cloud dissipates behind you and you're out in the sun and you got the things you want and you're free. And it was easy. You don't have to go through some kind of crazy, cathartic, healing, painful healing transition. You just literally have to take a step forward beyond the illusory confines of your fears, of your doubts, of your worries, of your guilt. They're not real. You will be able to see that more clearly now, and then it's a choice. You have the choice right now to step back and say, oh, pick up that lock, swing the gate open, and go for it. And when you go for it, it's gonna be like out of a movie. The music will come on, and it's like you're in a different reality because you are. You've already shifted. You're already ready. You're already enough. You've already done enough healing. No, the journey never ends. None of us are perfect or enlightened, but you've done enough to be in a different circumstance, a different level of abundance, a different level of love, have different relationships, different career, more passion, more purpose, more freedom. All of that is there, is yours for the taking. All you got to do is step through that door, step beyond your fears. Before I go, I have a special gift to give you that will help you with this in particular. It's a guided meditation I made. I call it the Higher Self Reconnection meditation. If you have one of those days where you feel like you lost it, I lost it, or you're feeling like you're not able to see clearly, this meditation was divinely inspired through me. It's a channeled meditation that will help you reconnect with the vantage point, the clarity of your higher self, so you can see your life more clearly and make wiser choices. If you struggle with meditation, you want to just pop something on, it's my voice, there's nice music, you can listen to it, and it'll realign you. It's free. It's totally free. I made it just as a gift. Click down below if you want to check it out. And with that said, have an amazing day. Oh, one more announcement, my friends. The other day I posted on the community section that I was contemplating launching another retreat, another Sedona retreat in June. And there was so much feedback I got from them and other sources that I'm going to. It's going to be at the end of June, and I'll be sure to let you know if you're interested. Some of you don't even know I do retreats because I never promote them on my YouTube channel, but just so you know, there will be one in June. It's really awesome. I'll leave a page that you can kind of learn more about it. But if you want to meet me and some like-minded people in Sedona and have a really powerful transformation, that will be an opportunity for you coming up here shortly. More to be revealed very soon. Much love, my friends. All the best to you. Namaste.